Hey, Rose. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Hi, can you hear me now?
I can
Okay.
hear you now.
How are you? Are we just
How are
two?
you? What are these little monsters?
Oh, those are my kids. This is Stella. It was
Hi.
picture day,
Hi,
and
Stella.
Jack,
say hi. Jack, say hi.
he's busy doing something.
How you
We
doing?
just thought.
Wow, it's Christmas time.
Oh my gosh, we're like in the thick of it. But like I don't know if I told you, but like we're moving. Yeah, he saw. We're moving. So it's like a process of having like to get them ready and to get them together and then like having to get my stuff together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm freaking out a little bit. But I was in the States today. Not for
At Target.
No, I went to Hobby Lobby actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, because like I didn't have time. Wow, Jax. Okay, wait. Because I didn't have time and I had to go get the kids back. Okay, guys, can I just did you get a chance to look at anyone?
I had all right, so I was working on a project last week, wholesaling a property in Indianapolis, and I wasn't able to get to call 5
Hi. Hi.
Okay.
Hi.
with that, and then
Hi,
I
mommy.
got this lead from several months ago about a gentleman. He's 84 years old, and his wife was in the process of passing away.
Oh, that's sad.
Well, he's 84,
Yeah.
but she was sick and finally passed. And I knew she passed like a month ago, but I didn't call him to say like, "Hey, you ready to buy your house? Or you ready to sell your house?" So
Yeah.
the realtor that had sent me the lead, Kathleen, who's great, she said he contacted her while I was on vacation. So I called him this morning and filled out my lead sheet.
Okay.
And, I'm going to go ahead and make him an offer tomorrow.
Can you just explain to me the lead sheet? What if they don't know like how long it's been since they renovated anything?
Then, well, exactly. So right here, right there, where I mean the questions are.
Let me just get my sheet, okay?
Yeah,
Just,
sure.
so I can follow you correctly.
Yep.
Oui, la feuille, elle est comme là.
Testing. Jack, do you want to watch TV?
Yeah. Which one is it? So kitchen, updated for in the last 10 years. Okay, timeline.
All right, so condition, roof, age, and I'll tell you when I was talking to this guy today, he said it's brand new, just put it on. Then I said, all right, how old's the AC? He said it's 5 years old. And I said, how about the electrical box? He said we haven't done anything since they built the house. Then I said,
wow.
Well, it was only built in 2002.
Okay.
But anyway, I said the kitchen has it been updated in the last 10 years? He said, and then he goes, we haven't done any updates to the house at all.
Since 2002?
So what?
Since 2002?
Right.
Wow.
So where it says kitchen, no updates. Where it says bathroom, no updates. He said, no, we have not updated the flooring, but he sent me pictures. It's got really nice hardwood flooring.
Okay.
And then I said, has it been painted on the inside and out? He says it's been painted on the outside because obviously there's an HOA.
Okay.
All right. So then I went down to timeline, and I said, when are you looking to sell and be done with it? And he said, ASAP. And then and then of course the motivation, I know, wife died,
We're gonna watch.
moving up to Wisconsin with his family.
Oh.
But then and then of course I went to, and I already knew this. I said, does the house have a mortgage? And he said no. At 84, most people don't have mortgage. But anyway, I mean, whenever I get a lead, I go down through my own sheet and I fill out all the information. I had somebody send me a lead this morning that didn't fill out the sheet, and he found out that it had a mortgage on it and the seller couldn't offer seller financing, and it was a lead from a realtor. Not mentioning any names.
Any names?
No names. But anyway, yeah, I mean, so I use this every day. But in that conversation, when we were talking about me buying the house, I said, obviously we try to close in 30 days, but 30 days from now is going to be Christmas and the holidays. You don't know, who is going to be off and title companies, blah, 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 blah. And he actually said, you're right. I would actually prefer to close at the end of January.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's why that's in there. So I scratched that out and put in end of January. So what I'll do is tomorrow, if we can come to an agreement on price or terms, I will make, the contract good, and close, in 60 to 90 days. 60 days would be the end of January, 90 days would be at the end of February, or any day before that.
Okay. So what happened if, let's say, for example, because I called someone today and they said they would like to close before Christmas.
Sure.
But it's not it's not a lot of time for, I don't know if you do inspections in this home.
Absolutely. But if the seller all right, so it all depends on motivation. If the seller wants to close in 30 days and they're selling it to you at 40% of after, repaired value, ARV, we can move that in 7 days. We could close that in 7 days.
Wow.
Oh yeah. When you're talking about 70% minus repairs, a lot of buyers are hemming and hawing, blah, 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 blah. And, like I was telling you, I spent 3 hours today calling on the realtors that represent houses that have been rehabbed. In other words, they represent the rehabber.
Yeah.
And of course, I call them on the phone and they have no idea what the rehabber would pay for the house. But then magically, when I send them over the details of the deal, they know exactly what they'll pay for the house. It's just so stupid. It's like, it's a formula. Is it 70% minus repairs? Is it 60% minus repairs? You got to buy it at 40, 45%. Just let me know. But for some reason, secret until I send over a deal, and then they all magically all of a sudden come up with a number.
Okay.
So that being said, that's why I go down through the form. When I go down through the form, that gives me all the information where I can put together multiple offers.
Okay.
But that being said, if you get a property cheap enough, I mean, you get a house, that's worth $200,000 and you're buying it for 50. Yeah, we can find a cash buyer like that.
Okay. Because the thing with me is that, like, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with giving prices, just because like the house, in my opinion, if the house is listed for a price and then I come and I'm trying to lower less than 50%, I feel like it's a lot. So I don't know how to place that in my.
Before you do the offer, this one right there, motivation. Motivation is the most important question on the lead sheet.
Yeah.
The gentleman I'm working with just wants to get rid of the house quickly so he can go back up and be up north with his family.
Yeah.
Now, you talk to a realtor and the realtor, you ask the realtor, what's the seller's motivation? Well, they just want to move on and buy a bigger house. That is not motivation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the seller wants to cash out of the house and buy a boat. That's not motivation.
Okay.
The seller just got transferred. They're moving across the country and they don't want to have 2 mortgage payments. That's motivation.
Okay.
But the most important thing on this sheet is motivation. And depending on the motivation, the more likely they're to accept a lowball offer. Now, when you're making an offer, what's my rule?
What's your rule? I'm so sorry. What's your rule?
Go for no.
Go for no. Always for no.
When you make an offer, expect to get a no.
Okay.
When you make an offer, expect to get a no. If they accept your offer, you left money on the table.
Okay.
It is very difficult to negotiate down once you agree on a price. Much
Okay.
easier going up. So you offer 40%, like, oh, that's terrible. Oh my God, I'll never accept that. Well, all right, what would you accept? Well, I would take 45%. Okay.
Wow.
But again, you don't need to get there. You don't need to, go through the whole shock and awe thing if there's motivation.
Yeah.
And if a
But,
real
like, let's say,
if the realtor can't tell you what the motivation is, the realtor is either lying to you or they never even thought to ask, because this has been such an easy market for the last 5 or 6 years. They just go in, get the listing, show up at closing, and collect a check.
okay. So like for the 10 houses, let's say for example, I spoke to Trisha back and she said, well, you should like they just want something like that's it's the same owners. And the guy, I think he's 84 or 86 years old, and he wants to get rid of it. But I said, like, at what point he wants to get rid of it, because the prices that I offer are like fair, because she wasn't aware of how much the houses need something. But she said because there's tenants inside,
Right.
you're not just gonna keep them out and then. But like it's been on the market for like 500 days.
And again, you sent me the conversation and the emails back and forth. And the last one, the realtor said, this seller has no reason to sell these. He wants fair market value. Fair market value is retail.
Yeah.
That's not the business we're in.
Yeah.
And I actually looked up some of the addresses. You know, if he wants $30,000 for the house, those houses are right around 30, 40 grand.
Yeah.
So that being said, you know, we'll go in and say, hey, listen, I'll give you, you know, I'll give you 300,000 for all 10 houses.
No, but like I think the whole thing together was 306.
Yeah.
And but like she said, if I gave like 350, she thinks he would take it.
Right. Well, that's fine. But no.
No.
Because that's paying retail when we don't pay retail.
Yeah.
We get deals, and we get deals from people with motivation. And she said in the email he's not motivated.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, you can't force somebody to have motivation. You got to find people that have problems, house problems,
Yeah.
divorce. They hate their wife or their husband. You know, and that happens all the time.
They hate their wives or their husbands?
I was out in the woods on my four-wheeler at a four-wheeling event. There's like 10,000 people there. So we're all, you know, in a campground, and you're camping next to people, and you always get to know your neighbors, and they all have RVs, you know, tow along or regular, you know, RVs. And I got talking to our next door neighbors, Frank and Jackie. He gave me his card. We're going to hook up. But he was telling me how he bought his $47,000 pole trailer to haul his toys around and have a nice RV to stay in for $17,000 from his buddy who was getting a divorce.
Wow.
He paid $47,000 for RV. 2 years later, because he was getting a divorce from his wife, he sold it for $17,000.
That's wow.
That's not nuts. Houses are the exact same thing. When people are getting divorced, divorced people make stupid financial decisions.
Yeah.
Just because a house has memories and they just want to get rid of the memories.
Mm-hmm.
And all they care about is, I just want to get rid of it. It's not about cash. It's, I want to get rid of it and get rid of it quick.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. My cousin got a house in Texas from a divorced couple. The house was worth close to 300 grand. He got it for 80,000.
There. Who did that?
Wow.
And it was gorgeous. I mean,
Who did
nothing
that?
wrong with it. But they were like, the house was like, give it away for free. I don't need it anymore.
Vera, who did that?
My cousin bought it from a couple going through a divorce.
Yeah. So, you know,
The wife was like, give it away for free. I don't want it.
probate. I did a probate deal back in January. The woman inherited the house. It's here in Orlando, Florida. She lives in New York City.
Yeah.
When she came down to, you know, sell me the house, I had to do a walkthrough inspection. It was right here in Lakeland. I drove over there to meet her, and she got emotionally upset just walking through the house because the house had so many memories of her mom who had just passed.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
this is the one that I did, and when we finally closed it, and I sold it to a hedge fund, I wholesaled it for 10 grand to a hedge fund. But bottom line, the next day she sent me a very nice email thanking me for making the transaction so easy and buying her house.
Wow.
So when it comes to motivation, there's financial motivation, which is like foreclosure. They're in foreclosure. The bank is going to take their house and they're going to get nothing. There's emotional distress, divorce. They're just angry. Probate,
Right.
where they're just, the memories of a deceased parent. And then, of course, there's physical distress, which is junkers. It's just people that have let the house go. There's a hole in the roof. It's got, there's the house is on fire. A tenant was in there and, tore out all the copper wiring, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So 3 types of motivation, i.e. distress: financial, emotional, physical.
Okay.
And like I said, on my lead sheet, that is the most important question. That's why it's not first. It's actually fourth.
Yeah, it's right in the middle.
Right. Because by the time you go through the condition, by the time you go through timeline, by the time you ask mortgage, you've developed a rapport with them. And then you hit them with, oh, tell me, why are you selling? And they're never, because if you hit them with, and I'll be honest with you, the guy that I'm working with today, Jerry, his wife died a month ago. He's probably had 15 phone calls from vultures that have been watching the obits.
Wow.
And he hangs up on them, tells them not to call. He's gotten phone calls from the same guy twice. Who did he end up calling? Me. Because I was cool to him 3 months ago.
Yeah.
I didn't try to buy his house. I said, tell me what your problem is. I'm in the business of helping people with house problems. He's like, you sound so nice. I said, I said, how old are you? He said, 84. I said, if you want to move now, that's fine. If you want to wait, to put your wife in a home, that's fine. But when you move, I want to let you know, we're going to get you as much cash as we possibly can in this market. We're going to pay all of your closing costs, which he loved.
Yeah.
And I said, you're moving up to Wisconsin to be with your family. If there's anything in the house, take everything you want to take. But if there's anything that you don't want to take and, you want to leave, just leave it. We'll take care of it for you.
Wow.
I said, I'm Catholic. I donate stuff to Catholic charities. I donate stuff to the Salvation Army. There's all kinds of different charities that will come in and actually take the stuff out of the house. I do it all the time. Been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just donate the stuff. And they're more than happy to come by with their people and clean out the house.
And that's what we tell people when we work with anybody who's a senior, who's looking to downsize to move to a facility, they're assisted living, independent living, but where they're going to live in one room after living in 4-bedroom house, they don't know what they want to take and where they want to go and what to sell and how to sell it.
And again, it comes back to motivation. If they have a house problem and then there's some sort of distress in their life, we're coming in to fix the problem.
Fix the problem.
The other 15 people that have been calling this, poor Jerry for the last 30 days since his wife died, all they cared about was making money off of Jerry.
Yeah.
And people get that. I mean, they're like, screw you. Why would I want to work with you? Oh, I'm going to call Mike because Mike was really nice to me. And he knows I have a problem, and he came up with that solution and that solution and that solution and that solution. And I can sell it in my time frame when I'm comfortable. See the difference? See the difference?
Yeah.
And that's why, Rose, motivation is the key.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So thank you for explaining this to me.
Hey, I'm just explaining to you what I do every day. Just like you, I do this every day.
Yeah.
Do deals fall apart on me? Sure do. Point operated laundry, the attorney asked for a laundry list of things. Seller would not respond.
Yeah.
So I told the attorney this morning, hey, put everything that you requested into the term sheet. And if they don't provide it, triple damages.
Wow.
I'm not playing. This is the commercial world. You better know what the hell you're doing in the commercial world, because there ain't no takebacks. There's no going to court and pleading in front of the judge. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But, this guy's been unresponsive the whole thing, They were stuck in an all cash deal. They didn't want to do any short-term seller financing. But again, am I looking at a difficult seller or am I looking at somebody that doesn't know what they're doing?
Yeah.
And you kind of got to feel that out.
Okay.
And again,
Next month.
only get that by talking to 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And again, remember, when it comes to commercial deals, you know, and when you're starting to talk about somebody who's selling off 10 properties all at the same time, that's going from residential to a commercial transaction.
Okay.
Commercial transaction, that guy is not going to claim, oh, I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, you know, in front of a judge, you're like, you've been a landlord for 30 years and you own 10 properties. You know exactly what you do.
No, he owns more than 10,
Yeah.
but like he was selling those 10s, like the.
Yeah. So that being said, you know, we'll look at it tomorrow. You know, I didn't get to it because I wanted to do this one.
Of course. And there's no rush.
I was still working on that deal from Indianapolis. I just didn't get to finish the wholesaling process up in the Indy deal.
Hmm.
But anyway, I'll be hard at it again tomorrow morning. So Farrell, what you got going on?
Nothing much right now. I'm trying to put the senior, working with senior facilities in place, and that's coming together. Hopefully Monday I can start calling and making the calls there. Actually, I was talking to a friend of mine. He's been in real estate and, he's been in there a while and he's doing really well for himself. He moved from Jersey to Florida. And he told me something. He says when he started, he wanted to get into probate. And the way he found houses was going through obituaries.
You know what the problem with that is?
What?
The property has not gone through the court system, i.e. the probate process.
Right.
So the court has not designated anyone as the authority to actually sign a contract to transfer the deed.
No, but what he used to do was he used to give them like $500, $1,000 deposit and sign a contract that once the probate's done, he will get the first right to the house.
Well, the thing about it is, who signs that agreement?
Well, he used to go through the process of calling the grieving family. And I'm like, that's so tough.
Well, guess what? When it's probated, there's going to be heirs. Now, not only do you have the person who owns the house, but because there's heirs, you got to get approval from all the heirs, every single one of them.
Right.
That's why when I do probate, I only go after the probated properties where the executor / personal representative has been authorized and signed off on by the court. Now that person.
How do you find those properties?
Clerk of the court.
Oh, you go to the court. Okay.
Yeah, clerk of the
Because
court.
there's somebody who reached out to me from a site called All the Leads.
Yeah.
And they sell you probate leads, but they're really expensive. Like they want $3,000.
Well, the reason why
I think they said it'll be.
The reason why they're so expensive is somebody physically has to go through the court documents.
Okay.
That's why. And I mean, I don't do it nationally. I do it, locally here in Polk County, because that's where I live. But it's a lot of work. But when you call it, and it's probate is a different animal.
Yeah.
Probate is a different animal because you're dealing with a death in a family. The family and the surviving spouse is in an emotional situation where they're hurting. They've lost their life partner. And when I tell people to go after probate, you really got to be sensitive to people.
Yes.
You really got to go in there with a servant's heart.
Yeah. No, that I understand. That is a given. But I was just trying to figure out the best way to get the probate leads because they're pretty good leads in the sense that they'll, if somebody's ready to sell, then they're ready to sell.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that's why the only probates I go after is when the personal representative has been assigned. Because that representative now has the authority to sign a contract.
So is there like a probate section in the court or something?
Yeah, probate Probate is a big section of the court.
Okay, so if I
No.
Google probate court, New Jersey, I'll get all the information.
With the exception of Jesus Christ, nobody lives forever. And what people don't understand is, there is and always will be a process to transfer wealth to the next generation.
Right.
None of us get to take it with us.
Yeah.
So all governments have a legal process to transfer wealth from one generation to another.
Right.
And it has to be that.
Yeah.
Whether you're testate or intestate.
Yeah.
Testate is with a will, intestate is without a will.
So that's what I was looking at and talking to people about.
Save yourself a lot of time and aggravation. Just go after the probate cases where a personal representatives, or that's what they call them in Florida, personal representatives. In other states,
I'm sure they call that here too.
Executor, executrix for female, whatever. But
Yeah.
when you call them up, then that person is a person with the sole authority to sign the contract to transfer the deed.
Okay, and I'll get that information from the court.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And it's a motion. All right. So in other words, the way the process works is a family will go out and hire a probate attorney. The probate attorney will petition the court to open probate. They will then submit the assets to be probated. And then once the court acknowledges the assets to be probated, then they will identify the personal representative along with all the heirs.
Okay.
And then what will end up happening is once the personal representative is assigned, once the heirs are identified, then what they will do is they will the attorney will then advertise in a newspaper, generally the legal section of a newspaper, for a period of redemption. So if the person who had passed away had any outstanding bills, cable bill, medical bills,
Right.
bill, that the debtor, the person being owed money, has the time and notification to submit the bill to the court to be paid any funds that are available, because they want to make sure that all debtors get paid. If a debtor's out there and they don't send in any documentation that they're owed money, the judge, once he slams a hammer, bang, they're wiped out. But if they do submit it, then it's submitted to the court. Once all that's done, then the attorney will file for a summary motion. Summary motion granted, case is closed, probate's done, and the personal representative has the authority to sell the house. Now,
So
that being
we
said,
would ask for a probate list?
hang on. That being said, if you contact the person, so the probate's been started, the personal representative has been authorized, but the probate is not completed, you can still buy the house.
Okay.
The personal representative / executor can sign the contract. The difference is the contract has to go before the judge.
Okay.
The judge is not responsible for going, well, this house is worth $300,000. You're only selling it for $150,000. What's the deal? That's not the judge's job. The judge's job is just say, yes, this is a legal and binding document. He stamps it, and then it goes to title and everything clears.
Okay.
So when you talk to a personal representative, not a single attorney will tell them that they can sell the major asset from the estate during probate.
Okay.
They all tell them you got to wait till the end of probate. Why?
They get money.
Probate is the least regulated aspect of law in America. Any county, doesn't matter what state it is, any county. And what ends up happening is these attorneys stretch these probate cases out for years to milk them.
Yeah.
So that's why you're like, when they're like, oh yeah, we would love to get rid of the house, but it's still in probate. Hey, did you know that you can still sell the house? The difference is once we sign the contract goes in front of the judge stamps off on it and says, yes, it's a legal and binding contract. Everything looks good. Once he signs off on it, boom, you can sell the house. And the other difference is the funds don't go to the account of the personal representative. The funds from the sale of the house go to the estate escrow, which is controlled by the court.
Okay,
The court will take that money and divide it up.
okay. Makes sense.
That's my little mini webinar on probate.
Sounds good, sounds good.
And by the way, you want to have major headaches, go after
Yeah.
probate because you got to deal with lawyers. And lawyers are,
Eh,
let's just say, you don't want to call them incompetent, but all of them are as lazy as they come. All they want to do is send emails to the court and letters to their their clients, and that's it.
and charge them for it, and that's why they take so long, because the more letters they send, the more money they make.
Exactly. And the thing about it is the probate deal that I'm working on over in Bartow for a year and a half, I annoyed the law firm that we hired to do the partition so much they refused to talk to me anymore, even though verbally told by the seller I had authority to talk about the case. Has a written document, an authorization to release information signed by the seller to give me authorization to talk about the case. And I sent in the contract that I have with the seller, which gives me an equitable interest in the deal, and they still won't talk to me because I am a major pain in the ass. I do not let them stretch it out. I'm like, what's the next process in the legal, next step in the legal process? When are you going to file? When is the judge going to make a decision? And what are we going to do next on what date? Bing,
Yeah.
bang, boom. And when you get to this date, I call them on the phone. Was this done? Was this done? Was this done? What's the next step? And they hate that.
Right.
Attorneys are so used to dealing with people that have no idea how the law works. When they run into somebody like me, life turns into a shit show for them.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I'm so sick of all of them. And the thing about it is, I call them until I get what I want, I call them every single day at the exact same time. This law firm, the one attorney I know I've told you guys this before. We paid $3,000 to him. And after 3 months, I called him on the phone. He had no idea what I was talking about. So then he said he passed it off to his partner. I called his partner. He had no idea what I was talking about. Never even heard of the case. He said, I'll call you back. Never called me back. The day after that, I called him 11 o'clock. Receptionist said, he's on a Zoom call. I said, okay, fine. Have him call me. Didn't call me. Next day, 11 o'clock. Next day, 11 o'clock. Next day, 11 o'clock. 5th day in a row, Friday. She says, he's on a Zoom call. I said, do you realize, because she now recognizes my voice, do you realize that he's been on a Zoom call every single day this week at 11 o'clock when I call? And she's like, can I put you on hold, please? Magically, he was available. But the thing about it is they put up walls to prevent
Right.
themselves from talking to their customers, their clients. And I'm just telling you, when you get into probate, this is what you got to look forward to.
Yeah.
You've got to, and what I do is I have and whenever I create a probate file, I create a calendar, and all the people, and I take note after note after note. You got to daytime.
Right.
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about, Mr. Grady. Well, then you accepted a $3,000 check from the seller on May 14th at 11:30. Do you remember cashing the check 2 days later at 12:01? When you start giving them that much detail, they're like, oh shit, this guy.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, that's probate. You've got to understand the frustration with probate. Probate, you can get great deals, but it takes a lot of work. They're not easy.
No.
The probate process, the seller is usually easy. It's the attorney that's the hard part.
Okay. Makes sense.
Mike, can I ask a question? What's
You sure can.
probate?
Probate is when the person who owns the house has passed away.
Oh.
Joe, the email I sent you, was that any useful? Did it work out? Did you get it?
Hey, Joe.
Email? Give me a second.
It was for a PML from the RAIN group.
All right, give me a second. Because I'm on my work laptop. From
Give us
the
a-
rain
Vera,
group?
give
No,
us
it
a-
was from me, but the PML was from they call sisters, a sister from the RAIN group, which is Women in Real Estate Investing Network, which is run by the Todds.
what are the details? How much you want? What's the percentage? What are you doing?
I don't remember. It was, I think, a week ago. They post their deal. We have like a messenger group and they all post deals in there, looking for PML and things like that. So if there's one that's worth it, then I'll copy and then I found this one which was worthwhile. I copied and pasted it. I think it was for Florida, Key West, if I'm not mistaken.
November 10th.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, WRIEN.
EIN. Yeah,
Oh,
RAIN.
okay.
It's called RAIN.
Yeah, rain. Yeah, I saw there was like an advertisement, but that was pretty much it. That was in the
Oh,
email.
no, I gave you the details on the top. That is what they posted, because that's what they wanted to do with the property. There was a body to the email. You didn't get
Oh,
that?
I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I got it. And oh yeah, that was a few days ago. This is 3 days ago.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I figured it was a good deal. It sounded like a good deal.
Yeah, I'll have to get the details, like Mike said, is there a contract? What are they working on? I
Yeah, they
understand.
have it under contract. I think I put her information on the email.
Yeah, I got her contact information, so I'll be giving her a call in the morning.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Hey, Rose,
Yeah,
you still there?
What's
Rose,
that?
I am.
you still there, Rose?
Yes, I am. 2 seconds.
I don't know how Canada works. I've never done any real estate in Canada, but like you said, you were in the States today.
Yes.
Next time you're in the States, whatever county you're in upstate New York, if you go to the clerk of the court will have a pamphlet.
Okay.
The probate department. When you go to the clerk of the court or the local courthouse, there's a whole probate room. Okay. And they generally have a pamphlet that will actually describe the entire probate process in that county.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And as always, that course in 2005.
Where did you get that one?
About this September 3rd, 2005.
From
Wow.
whom?
George Miller.
George who? I'm sorry.
George Miller.
Miller, okay.
And who's George Miller?
Some real estate guru back in the early 2000s.
Okay. Okay.
If he's still in business, I doubt it. But
Okay.
Nope.
He's not in business anymore?
Nope.
Okay.
All gone. But I'm telling you what, his website was awesome in 1998.
Okay.
Oh, his website was off?
Hi.
Hi.
But anyway, anything you want to know about probate, just ask. And
Okay.
and maybe someday what I'll do is I'll create a whole bunch of videos on this.
And where do you do videos, Mike?
YouTube.
Oh, really? I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me, I have to send.
I've been busy with this whole mudding vacation, but so
What videos would you recommend for someone wanting to learn about fix and flip and wholesaling from YouTube? Because a friend of mine wants to get into it, but she doesn't want to pay the $10,000 and the $7,000 fees. She can't afford it right now.
There's this guy named Mike Grady that gives away free information every Monday night about 6.
Yeah, but she doesn't know she wants to do it. She wants to watch a video to understand what it is.
Show up here.
Okay.
Sarah, you know what? I barely
People
understand.
People
Jack, arrête.
People
Arrête. I barely understand anything. Just a second. John, est-ce que tu peux venir chercher Jack, s'il te plaît, parce qu'il est intense.
This is how you yell at your kids in French.
No, I told my husband to come get him because it's intense. And like
Okay.
Jack, my son is very intense.
Let me watch.
So come look.
That's all right. Mrs. Figueroa's son is very intense too.
Oh my God. So I barely understand anything that Mike says, or like I do understand, but this is for Farah. Cause like I barely understand like half of the stuff that I do. But until I think until your cousin or your friend takes actions, then she won't understand. Because I'm telling you, the first week I was making calls, I didn't understand what I was saying, why I was saying what I was saying. But I just said, and then the people were more open, and then so on and so forth. And then I started understanding a little bit more. And now it's like I can have a conversation with someone and kind of understand what they want or what they're saying. And then if I just don't understand, I just say, can you just rephrase that in a different way? Just to make sure that I get something. And if I really don't understand, I just tell them, let me just take a note about what you said. And then I get back to them. So like I feel like for so long, people wait to have like the perfect pitch and the perfect phrase and the perfect way to approach things, and like they want to understand everything. But like sometimes the best way to do something is just to jump into it. And like in a different country. My husband says I barely speak English,
Right.
but I still do it. Sometimes I think it's like people wait to get the whole thing right,
Right.
and you will never get into anything by just waiting for the right moment or like some
No, I
kind of
agree
a
with you
time.
on that, but different people are different.
Yeah.
And she's very scared right now because she's just been through a lot, in
Yeah.
life, and she's just scared to do anything.
I will tell you the number one thing. She can watch a gazillion videos, but there's nothing like having a coach that just says, okay,
Right.
what did you do?
And I'll tell her that.
This is where you made a mistake. Don't do that. Do this.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than having a personal coach.
No, I agree with you on that totally. But
And I'm one of the few people that doesn't charge.
I'll let her know when she comes in, to come in and join. I'll share the link with her.
Yeah. But it's just one of those things. I mean, you pay big money to have coaches. I mean, ask Dennis Sylvan.
Okay.
He gives Jamil $8,000 and he sees him every Monday.
I did too. I gave him
Jamil,
six. I gave him six and
every time
6,300. I had 1,500 to go and I lost my job. He kicked me out. I'm so pissed.
every time Dennis actually sees him tonight when they're filming, because he goes to the filming and
He
every
does.
time he talks to Jamil's got to get his haircut. Ask Dennis, he'll tell you.
You're saying that. I don't know if you were on a call of his. I don't know if you attend his Monday and Thursday night calls or whatever.
I don't.
But on the call one day, he just come off his mastermind and he goes, I'm really annoyed with myself and I have to go back and do my phase 1 course because there was this guy and I was so hungry and he wanted to talk to me and I should have told him, no, I'm hungry, but I still spoke to him. That's the type of person I am. It's like this dude just paid you $3,000 to attend this stupid mastermind of yours, and that's what you think?
Who was this was saying this?
Jamil was talking about some guy on the mastermind.
Masterminds are $10,000, not $3,000.
No. This is the mastermind.
Oh, all right.
He has these masterminds that you have to go to every quarter.
Yeah.
Or at least he wants you to go to.
Yeah. No.
And he says you get to personally talk to me over there and, things like that.
But that's what I'm saying is, you pay this all the money to these gurus and they don't give anybody one-on-one time.
Yeah,
That's
this was his only
No,
one and
they
only
don't.
mastermind. He's not doing those anymore.
And the thing about it is, it's just when you're new and you're
Oh, he's
scared,
not doing mastermind anymore?
He's only done one, this
When
past
you're-
one.
when you're new and you're scared, it helps to have somebody say, hey, listen, I made the same mistake you did. Now do this.
Yeah,
I was there.
yeah.
90, I'm going to say that 85% of coaching is just being there, emotional support for your student.
And I don't even want to go for his class, his calls. I stopped going a long time ago because you have 300 people on the call. If you want to get your question answered, you have to wait 5 hours, 6 hours. I don't have that time.
That's why Joe Figueroa and Dennis Sylvan got me to start doing these Monday night Zoom calls.
So I don't care about that. I'm going to email them and say, look, I've paid you more than half and I have a right to be part of your Facebook group page, because that's where, I can find deals and stuff like that.
Sarah, wait, you paid someone like $15,000 and they're not accepting you into a Facebook group?
No, so this is what happened. I've actually paid 16,300 for 2 mentorships. And with Jamil, I have $1,500 left. I paid him 6,300 and he kicked me out. And I stopped paying because I lost my
He
job.
kicked you out?
Yeah. He
Why?
took away access to the training. He took away access to the Facebook group page. And I want to tell him, you can take away your access to your training because that didn't help much. Your calls are useless. Just give me access to your Facebook page. That's all I need. And I think I have a right to ask him that because he's taken $5,000 from me.
I'll be honest with you. I joined Astro just like everybody else. And I tell people all the time, the Facebook group is the most, his Astro Elite is the most valuable thing you could have.
Exactly. So that's the only thing I want. So I'm going to email them tonight because I'm kind of pissed off at them.
Yeah.
Can I ask maybe I'm just I don't understand the value of things, because in my head, that's where I'm a little bit like your friend or your cousin. Like in my head, for me to pay someone, I have to see some kind of a result. Did you do this first and then you paid someone to learn more? Or were you just, oh, I want to do this, so I'm going to pay someone to get me the knowledge that I need?
Right. And that's what the gurus do. I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of people do benefit, but I think it's just, so this is one thing I say, people who joined early on to Jamil's program benefited more from him. But as he grew, he's just become too cocky and it's not what it used to be. And I think Joe said he's not having calls anymore, right, Joe?
Yeah, I think
No,
Joe said
he's having calls. He's still doing everything within the program. He had one mastermind a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
And that's the only one he's ever going to do.
But
he did
that's
one when I was paying on the paying thing. So he's
Yeah, well, those were
masterminds
different.
before.
They weren't masterminds. He was having an event, and then he does something with Pace, and they do something together. Pace used to have I can't remember what it was called, but they would join forces there and meet with each other. But as far as masterminds go, he's had one, and that was the one that he just had. And then he said he's not having any more. And then of course, I don't make excuses for anybody, and I don't know who's ever had surgery, major surgery. But when you're 3 days out of major surgery, it's a tough situation. So people can they need to give grace in an instance like that. That's what I say about that. Because have you seen the scar?
And again, let's just go down the road of how do we get on this conversation. Farrah has a friend who
Mhm.
wants to learn, but she's scared. So
Right.
go up here and just have her listen until she's confident enough to ask a question, and then take some action. And then once she takes some action, I can point her in the right direction.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
tell.
'cause see, like I'm more than happy to JV with Mike because like I can pick his brain and
Yeah,
then give him like whatever he wants.
that's
and
what
then
I do too. I pick his brain.
Yeah, until I can understand, because like now I'm when Mike is talking, I was talking to an agent and I had Mike in my head the whole time. So I was like, okay, I could do this. Like, and then I tried to like understand, because at first I'm telling you, I really didn't understand. And like even like to me hearing you saying like you paid someone, like in right now at this particular moment, I can I can't even fathom me paying someone $6,000 or $5,000, $5,000 or $6,000 for something for our course, hoping that it works. Like I just like it blows my mind. So that's why I preferred doing this. Like when Carol told me about Mike, I said, "Oh, it's probably one of those." And like not to be mean, because I don't know the guy, like not to be mean, but like something like what Pace does, he repeats the same information over and over
Oh yeah, even with Jamal,
without
it's the same thing.
without giving concrete, do this and this to get this and do this. If this doesn't work, then go back. And I like the approach. And I didn't even think that Mike would ever talk to me. But I'm like, Carol told me like you can at least try. And like the guy is very open and very so like that's why I don't mind coming to the meetings and like trying to understand and like trying to have like a sense of anything, just because Jack's close the door, just because like it makes sense in my head, and like that's why I don't mind like sending him off everything and then just trying to hope for the best, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever I can do to help. That's
Okay, sounds good. I'll let her know. I'll share the link. And
know,
then,
I sent out those
it's up to
emails.
her if she wants to or not.
The email that I send out is what I believe. Let's all
Yeah.
work together to get a deal.
Yeah. So that's that. Nothing going on this week, but hopefully from next Monday, I'm going to start calling
Good.
the centers and hopefully connect. So
Well, you're going after assisted living, right? The baby boomers are moving into the 80s. The biggest generation in the history of America is going to start moving into those facilities.
and that's why I'm going after them. Because the way I look at it is I can go after the baby boomers, right? But it'll be cold calling. If I approach the assisted living facility and they say that, to pay us, you need to sell your house because you need this much money, and this is the person we recommend to help you, then I'm not cold calling them anymore. And I can call the facility every week and get a list of names that they've referred me to and give them a call so they don't have to call me, but at least I'm recommended. So I'm already 2 steps ahead from the cold calling.
Yeah.
That's been my thought process.
Yeah. Assisted living is a great business model, especially for like 30 years.
And the way I look at it is if this works and they do start sending me referrals, I don't have to do cold calling anymore. I get property sitting at home.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing about Rose. She is amazing at cold calling.
I love it. I love getting to know the people, and then I love when they're like at first they're like, "Oh, I'm busy," or like I'm doing this.
So
And I said, "Oh, it's okay. You can, yeah." But like I love it. And then once they talk to me, they have no choice but to talk to me because they like me. And my husband told me I could probably smuggle drug in any country because I'm so likable. And I said, "Well, I'm not."
Can I ask you a favor? When you're doing one of your calls, can I listen in? I'll put myself on mute so they won't even know I'm there.
Of course.
That would be great if I can do that.
Let me ask you a question. Does anybody else think that would be beneficial?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it would be very beneficial.
How about I set up a Zoom call?
That would be awesome.
And then we'll all just sit back, put ourselves on mute and listen to Rose do her thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I
And,
can do
and
that.
again, what I'm thinking, Farah, is, why would I want to do this? Do I want to listen to her cold call? No. And do I cold call all the time? All the time.
Right.
Practice? No. But a video like that might be really helpful for your friend.
Yeah, true.
So that's
Okay.
why I would be willing to set that up. So
Yeah, so let me talk to
we can
her.
listen to her.
I'll
something
talk to
great.
her in the next day or so, and I'll let you know what she says.
Rose, when do you think you could do that?
I could probably do it tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, whenever I mean you're ready. I really don't mind.
Can you talk on the phone at the same time you're on a video?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you text me tomorrow or whatever and tell me when you're available, and I'll send it out.
Yeah, and I'll talk to my friend tomorrow and let you know.
Okay. Okay.
But I
Okay.
think that video would be really, really, I mean, that's something I would post on YouTube, hey.
Yeah, I mean, that would be really great if we can do that, because to me, I'm not scared of talking to somebody on a cold call. I've never heard somebody have this conversation. If I hear it once or twice, it puts me into a position where I'm more comfortable in knowing what to tell them and how to talk to them.
If I can help you, I will. And I really don't mind calling. I do
Thank
that
you.
all the time, I guess.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Rose. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
This is the power of many.
I might be able to get you another lady, Capricia, who's doing this, but she's very scared of cold calling. So
Yeah.
she might be able to join.
Good. Joe Figueroa, you've been very quiet this evening.
Yeah, just taking some calls and putting out fires.
How's the book coming?
A book is coming along great. I've got a lot of it done.
What?
Yeah, I've got a lot done. Over the past weekend, I took Veterans Day off.
All right. You got it. For the new people, give us a summary of what is the book about.
The book is about funding EMD. I am skirting some of the proprietary documents that we have, and processes, out of that. And so I'm walking that line where I can answer questions about it. But other than that, everything's going great. Everything else, of course, is just normal. It's normal stuff. There's just one more step. And that's basically what it is.
And you've also got a checklist, right?
I've got the checklist right here. And I'm improving on it at the moment.
Cool.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I can email that to you once I finish that out. There's as far as for how this process goes, the one thing you get all the time, and Mike's seen this too. I need EMD today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, great. So one of the things I'll tell you 2 tips that I'm writing about in there. One of them, I need money today. Well, that's, everyone has a due diligence period. And so that's not going to work today. Number 2, everybody wants, because this is a new thing, it's a new process. I don't do non-refundable. Our money doesn't go hard. So everything's done inside the due diligence inspection period, whatever, but that's what I'll share about those things there. And so the other, what was it, 3 days ago, something like that. I need EMD money today. Looked at the contract right away. You scroll down because the first thing and I'm gonna put it in big words in the front on the top. Put it right in the front on the top. Is it refundable? And
Right.
is it non-refundable?
But what if it is non-refundable, but in your contract with them, you say that whether you get your money back or not, you have to pay me back this much?
No, what it
That
is,
work?
not refundable, then I can't fund it.
You can't fund it.
I have to be able to recover the funds, the investment and stuff like that. So
Okay.
it's in the processes that I go through to explain everything. And I let everybody know, and Mike knows this, and he's always been like this with us, very transparent. Let everybody know all the information.
Oh, absolutely. That's the best way to go forward.
And once it gets in the beginning, that lets them know, okay, well, I do want to work with you, or no, I don't. And then once I get into the processes, well, let's do this, that, this, and that. I have a checklist for that also. And
Yeah.
I'll go through those little checklists and make sure that all of that is done. And we get to a certain point, and then everything is just a go. And then we just sit here and wait for the
Closing.
the borrower to go out and do their part, and
Okay.
their part is the part that, for example, that call that I just missed, they were unable to do their part. So, and I'm still getting text on that. And I step in and offered solutions for this particular one. And then it's all the same. People are going to be people. We're in this business because we love to work with people. We love people. And that's what I'll say about that. It's everyone has their little their stuff that they're going through and stuff like that. It's when you get to this point right now and you were not able to find a buyer.
Right.
It's very stressful. And so you have to kind of just, talk to people and use your people skills, read a ton of books, you have to know who you are in order to find out who they are.
Yeah, that's true.
And so you get me with the personality books. Oh, I can read those all day. I don't know what it is about that.
Me too. I'm a psychologist by education, so for me, they're very, very interesting.
Yeah. Which book is it? Gosh, it's got the 4 types of people. Personality Plus.
Personality Plus.
Yeah.
It's a good book.
Plus, you find out you find out who you are, and then you just keep, reflecting, and you think about everything that you do, and then the next thing you know, it's easy to identify what others are.
But sometimes I feel a lot of people know who they are. They just don't want to accept who they are.
It's really tough, especially when I deal with a lot of wholesalers, and it doesn't matter if he's a newbie or he's got 10, 15 years, and they're all just everybody's in their place wherever they are.
Yeah.
And wherever they are, I let them be there, and I kindly remind them, okay, well, this is what the step is, and this is what we need to do, and this is why this process is happening this way, and so so that's where the book is at the very moment right now, where I put it all together. It's just I have to tweak a lot of the things that I put in it. So once I get all of that information, because it's not done, it's not finished, put it all in there, and I'm just maneuvering around to make sure that everything stays where it stays. You know what I mean?
Are you doing self-publishing on Amazon, or do you have someone who's going to help you edit?
I have to have somebody help me edit. I have to have for help to stay within the guidelines.
You can find somebody on Fiverr to do that cheap.
Yeah. So other than that, it's pretty much done. I'm just tweaking the rest of it.
Nice. That sounds fun and exciting.
I'll write the foreword if you send me the manuscript.
Sure. Yeah. Yes, definitely. I mean, somebody with 20 years experience, and people can they research you, find out what you've been up to, and So once I get that done, with that part done, I'm gonna finish it out.
And if
Okay.
you wanna send me a non-disclosure ahead of time, cool with that too.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Just so we can, I want to edit a few more things, and that's it. You know,
Yeah.
once I get that part done and I get clearance, then I'm gonna go ahead and move forward, and then I'll do all the other stuff.
Cool, when you're ready.
Mhm. All right, and thanks for inspiring me to do that. You know, because gosh, you know, this one here was a headache and a half, and so basically it consumed most of my day. You
Yeah.
know, and I've been at it since it was, what was it, 7 Eastern. I've been at it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been at it since 7 Eastern.
Everybody says real estate is easy.
Yeah.
It's anything but easy.
That's because they've never done it.
That's right.
Yep.
Sure.
So yeah, and I'm still, you know, here it is, almost, it is actually 12 hours later.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it is actually. It's 7-Eleven over here.
Yeah, and I've been at it since it was 6:45 or 10 till 7
Uh,
when I started making my phone calls, emails started going out, you know, because at that point there, it's 7 o'clock here, it's 8 o'clock Eastern,
yeah.
you know, so I got with the borrower this morning, and we had a long discussion, and then 9 o'clock came around, and then we are on the phone with title and back and forth, and so we're at a point where I think that everybody's happy, you know, and then in the morning we just pick up where we left off, you know.
Right.
And it's just, Mike, you know, you've seen a mess of things and you didn't see your way out of it. How did you handle it? And then what did you, when you finally received, because, you know, I always tell my wife, you know, when we get happy, when the check's in the bank, you know.
Exactly.
So
Bang.
the bank, yeah, not when
That
it's
is,
everything is still, you know, no, when the money's in the bank, that's when we celebrate.
That's
that
right.
is the truth.
So how do you navigate your way out of something where you just, you know, you almost want to throw your hands up in the air, like, I just don't know, you know.
Yeah.
I've pulled every solution out, because you're dealing with people, different personalities,
Yeah.
different situations, stressful,
Are
and
you,
then
are you asking me a real live question?
I'm asking you a real life question. How do you feel when the payment hits and you're like, was it worth it?
I referenced it earlier. All right, so I got this property, a probate deal, under contract last year in like October. And of course I said I'd close in 30 days. I got it at like 70%. House was perfect, really didn't need anything other than cleaning the carpets. Except the market had started to turn. So 30 days later, I was not able, I got it at the end of October. So this is like beginning of November. And of course, you know, nobody buys houses in November. That's what it tells me. So anyway, I had to go back to the seller, who was the woman, you know, in probate, the real emotional one I was telling you about. And I said, I'm going to need another 30 days. She wasn't happy about it, but she gave me the extension. Well, when I tell somebody I'm going to do something, I fall all over myself to make sure it happens. So 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, I was calling everybody I could find that was a real estate investor. And I'm a big believer that when you ask, God will send you the message that you need. And the message doesn't come from a burning bush. It doesn't come from, you know, anything metaphysical. It comes from another human being. I got a hold of somebody who said that she works with hedge funds. I sent her the deal. She said it wasn't going to work for her hedge fund, but have you ever heard of Jamil? And I said, Jamil who? This was last November. So anyway, I watched 2 or 3 videos about Jamil, and she had also turned me on to Privy. I said, hey, you know, this is awesome. She said, have you heard of Privy? I said, never heard of Privy. I looked at Privy. I looked at 3 different videos about how Jamil uses Privy to find buyers. I signed up for Privy, and in using the 3 videos on how to use Privy to find buyers from Jamil, I actually found a hedge fund that bought that property, and I swear to God, Joe, I gave up on that deal 3 times.
Yeah.
You're banging your head against the wall, you're banging your head against the wall, you're banging your head against the wall, and then one person comes along that gives you a crumb that leads you to a piece that you needed that leads you to the solution.
Yep.
But like I said, I mean, that you probably heard me tell that story before, but that's how I got to Astro, and that's how I got to all you guys.
Yep. And there's always a reason why something happens.
Exactly. You know, I'm like, God, I'm making all the phone calls. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. What am I doing wrong? Next phone, I don't know if it was the next phone call, but a phone call led me to a woman who said, have you heard of Freebie? Oh, it's an awesome tool. Have you heard of Jamil? He teaches how to use it. Oh, I watched 3 videos. Boom. 10 days later, I've got it under contract and I made 10 grand on the deal. And that's the woman who thanked me for buying her house. Wrote me a nice email the day after we closed.
Nice.
But that's a real life story. That's a real life story of a frustrating deal. Like, why do I have this gorgeous $300,000, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house under contract for $210,000? And the thing just needs the carpets cleaned and maybe some touch-up paint here and there. Granite countertops, under counter sink, everything was great neighborhood, the whole 9 yards. But the market had turned.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and it was during that time. I'm at a Zoom or I'm at one of Jamil's meetings. I always put my phone number on my name. I get a call a few days later. Hey, this is Mike.
All right, you want to hear something crazy about that?
That's how I got in touch with him too. He called me and he goes, hey, this is Mike from Astro.
You want to hear something crazy about that? That whole list of people, of gators that I called?
Oh,
I'm
Astro.
the only person that's ever called anybody. Now, when I got into this whole coin operated laundry thing, I joined Laundry Resources, a guy that has a group that buys coin operated laundries, and he does a Zoom call like all the gurus do. And when I was on it, and granted, it's not 500 people on it, it's like 30. Because it's very niche. But I got on there and I'm like, hey, everybody, put in your contact. He didn't say everybody put in your contact information, so we can work together. I said it, and the host was like, what a killer idea. And a couple, 3 or 4 people put in their name, their phone number, and their email. So the next day, I called each one of them. And they're like, oh my God, nobody has ever called me before. So moral of the story is, reach out to people. If you've got a tough transaction going on, a tough deal, somebody out there has a solution. You just got to call enough people. And
right.
You'll hear me say it. CEOs of major corporations do not get paid $10 million a year because of how smart they are. CEOs get paid $10 million a year because when their company has a problem, they know who to call to fix it. And the most powerful thing I ever heard in my life is Jamie Dimon was he's the CEO of Chase Bank. He was having some sort of problem. He called the White House and Bill Clinton answered the phone. President Bill Clinton, when Jamie Dimon calls, answers the phone. Forget what you think about Clinton and the politics. Forget all that. But when you're the CEO of a major bank and you call the president and they're like, hang on, and then he picks up the phone and goes, what do you need, Jamie? That's how you fix problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And it was the same with Greenberg when AIG was falling.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about Greenberg, but
that was under the Obama administration, but
that was under the Obama administration. But what happened? He called up and he said, we need help and you got to give it. Otherwise, you're going to lose the entire financial industry.
Yeah. So that being said, if you got a tough transaction, make enough phone calls and someone will come up with God will send you somebody. Let's put it that way.
So anyway, guys. I gotta get going. I have to feed my son.
All right. Great talking to you.
Bye-bye. I will talk to my friend and let you know what she says.
Okay.
And I will share the link with her. I'll share the link with a couple of other girls. I think this will help as well.
Okay.
And hopefully they'll join.
Hey, everybody say hi to Carol in Jamaica. She wanted to make sure that I say the chat. So
Yeah.
everybody say, hey, Jamaica. Just say in the chat, hey, Carol, enjoy Jamaica.
Yeah. Hey, girl, enjoy your makeup.
So,
Adrian
say
Watson,
it in the chat.
You're the only person that hasn't spoken, Adrian Watson.
And type it on the chat because she's not live.
I'm here. I'm here, you guys. How you guys doing? Sorry,
Oh,
Joe.
good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's been a while. I just wanted to come back on and kind of listen in. I haven't really been focusing too much on this, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of say hi, you guys. Sorry, let me turn this on. I've
Cool.
been here.
What can I help you with?
I'm gonna call you, Joe. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm gonna call you probably tomorrow because I'm gonna focus more direct to seller. I got a long list of pre-foreclosures that I'm really gonna start targeting. So I know kind of the ebbs and flows of the pre-foreclosure, just kind of what to expect, kind of where they're at. I know I'm gonna have to be nice with them, but I just want to make sure I don't sound and fumble when I'm talking to them because they're going to be in a delicate situation. I at least want to have my ducks in a row, so at least I know what I'm kind of sounding like. I did get your scripts, and I actually was going to use that.
Good.
Just to be able to kind of start the process. But after that, I just want to be able to be in line, if that makes sense. I feel like I know enough just on the mortgage industry because I told you I was a loan officer, but I don't know after the initial conversation kind of the steps. If that makes sense.
What if you get somebody to say yes?
Yes. Not necessarily yes. If they have questions after the script, that makes sense.
Yeah. Feel free to
Yeah.
text,
Well, go ahead.
feel free to text me or call me.
Okay, I'll call you tomorrow. I just, I don't want to waste your guys' time asking a whole bunch of questions on it right now, but yeah, I'm really gonna dive deep into this because I think it's perfect timing with the way the economy is, especially out here in Arizona with the market. There's a lot less inventory. And I've told you guys this before, there's a lot of big players out here, so it's very, very tough when you're going on market. And, a lot of these extra realtors are hanging up the phone because they're so frustrated right now. But
the thing about it is mortgage applications are at a 30-year low.
Yeah.
So the days of I'm in financial trouble, I'm just going to give it to a realtor and the realtor will go out and solve my financial problems are long gone.
Yes, very much so.
If they're in foreclosure and it takes 6 months to sell a house and they're 4 months into a foreclosure, the foreclosure date is going to come before a buyer comes along.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that economy creates pre-foreclosure, but pre-foreclosure, you can't just expect a buyer to come along and bail you out. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. And some of the initial conversations that I spoke to people, they really don't know left from right. So it's kind of hard to be able to explain that. And that's kind of the reason why I wanted to touch base with you. Just because I know you're an expert in it and we were talking about it a few months back. But
lots of pre-foreclosures and they're all sub-2 deals.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I was thinking on some of these, but I just have to understand what I'm doing. And I just don't want to go in there blind looking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the difference between me and you is I've made 1,000 more mistakes than you have.
Yes.
It's just
in a lot more years.
It's just a matter of, going after it. And every phone call is a learning opportunity.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate it.
And again, don't internalize somebody else's problems.
I haven't. That's been a mission of mine just in life the last month. Trust me, I'm not taking on nobody else's problems.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
When you talk to these people in pre-foreclosure, they're going to say to you, like, well, can you buy my house and then I can just, rent it from you? No.
Okay.
But even
people that I've been talking to have been really emotional. It's
Yep.
And I understand it. So, and I'm when I'm doing cold calls, just because I've been doing sales for so long and I'm used to being on the phone, I'm usually pretty aggressive over the phone. But I'm learning my tone has to kind of take a step back because I have to understand the situation that I'm going into and have some compassion.
And the other thing is you want to go in there again. It's kind of like probate to a lesser degree with a servant's heart. And you want to go in there, you're there to help them. Because if they this is not a problem where you can stick your head in the sand and it's going to go away. You stick your head in the sand, it's going to get worse.
Right.
And worse, if it goes to foreclosure, that will wrap a financial anchor around your neck for the next 7 years. And bad credit affects everything: health insurance, car insurance. You know, you try to go get a rental property. You know, and the thing about it, yes, a foreclosure and a bankruptcy will fall off of your credit from the 3 major credit companies after 7 years. But anybody that puts that on a form, you got to put it down that you went through it. And that can screw you up for a lifetime.
Yeah, I can.
So these are the things when people are emotional and they're pushing back on you, you're there to save them from that.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of people too that are just, I mean, I'm literally giving them all of the information from the foreclosure, and they still don't believe that I'm trying to actually help them. Yeah. So, you know, it's a struggle, but I'll get it.
Have you got my updated script?
No, I haven't looked at it. No.
Pace came out with a video, and you might find it on his YouTube channel, about the 8 steps to try to help people get out of a foreclosure. And the first 4 are trying to actually help them stay in the house. Like, hey, have you reached out to a family member to get a loan, for a family member to, you know, give you a loan to help you catch it up? You know, and he goes through 8 different things. The last 2 are the ones where you actually buy the property.
And I saw that on your script, and I had went through some other people and kind of listened, and I kind of know that's the approach, and that's the reason why I want to actually pick your brain tomorrow, because if they want, or if they say yes to that, I don't know how to handle that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
From the sales aspect.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And the other thing too is, once they say yes, you don't want to let them off the phone. You want to have that contract ready and shoot it over to them, and they can sign it electronically. Because once they hang up the phone,
yes, you're gone. Yeah. I'm noticing that, because there's been people I've had conversations with, and they don't answer ever again, and it's like, oh, I just wasted a whole bunch of time. So
yeah. So yeah, once you get an agreement, you want to be able to just press go on, you know, DocuSign or something like that.
Okay.
And the contract's exactly the same, just different numbers. Different name and different numbers. Name of seller, different numbers, mortgage information, you know, payment, that sort of thing's the only thing you gotta change. Takes you about 8 seconds. Once you get good at it, you press go.
Okay.
But yeah, once they say yes, you don't want to let them off the phone, because because
too many things can happen.
They get back in their head.
Yeah.
They get back in their head, and they put their head back in the sand, like, this isn't happening, it can't happen to me. And it happens.
Yeah, that's kind of my new approach. I mean, I'm probably going to lock up. There was actually a property that I locked up about a month and a half ago that I had to cancel. Well, not roughly around there, but I had to cancel. But I'm actually going to get back on the phone, because he reached back out to me right now, so I might be able to lock up one on market, but we'll see if it actually closes, because the numbers got to be right.
The other thing with those is, and I've just made this shift in listening, because I'm like you guys. I go out there and I listen to the gurus, and I take the little nuggets. But I was listening to one wholesaler that he doesn't make his EMD go hard until the deal closes. None of this EMD goes hard after 7 days. It puts way too much pressure on you to, once you get it under contract, to be able to wholesale.
Right.
I changed about a year ago, where I said my inspection period is 14 business days, which gives me almost 21 days. But now, because it's taken so long to find buyers, EMD doesn't go hard until, you know, it technically doesn't ever go hard.
Okay, that's good to know, because I wouldn't have.
Yeah, you want to make that change, because I get a lot of people that find deals and they're like, oh, I've got 7 days and my EMD is going to go hard.
And I'm freaking out, and the weekend is useless. So those are 2 days. But I did switch up my business language to business days after you told me, and just even certain things in my contracts, especially about those probate issues. You know, that 1%, 2% per month still.
Yeah. And the other thing is, and even with sub 2 buyers, they're all moving slow.
Are they? Okay.
I don't know why.
That's good to-
I don't know why. I think because everybody in the market's terrified. So what I'm saying to you is just make sure that any EMD. Well, first of all, on a pre-foreclosure, you're not dealing with a realtor, so $100 EMD is fine.
It's fine.
And people are like, well, $100 EMD. Well, first off, you don't have a realtor who's been trained to get thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing is, a motivated seller will do anything you tell them to do.
Right.
I mean, for example, I was talking about this deal today. 84-year-old gentleman. He had never sent a text before in his life. I got him to walk around his house, take pictures, and over the phone, we worked through how he could text me pictures.
Nice. I know that was the struggle, Mike. I know it. Especially if you didn't know what he's doing.
Never sent a text before in his life. Didn't even know his phone could do it. And he texted me the pictures of the kitchen, the master bath, the guest bedroom, the guest bath, and then the living dining room area, which is all I need, to be able to wholesale it. But that's the kind of pay. I mean, I was on the phone with. Don't make no mistake. This wasn't like, oh, click here, do this, put in the number there, click that, take that, upload it here. It wasn't that. It was an hour and 45 minutes of walking him through it step by step by step.
You're gonna have a lot of patience. That's
the patience you got to have with people. But when you do that, they will trust you.
Yeah, it's a different type of approach, but it might be better, to be honest, because these realtors are unrealistic, and a lot of them that I've noticed, especially on market, if it's not close to list, they don't care if it's going to sell or not. They just want the highest they can get, obviously, but it's getting ridiculous where they're just locking up properties, and I'm seeing the same properties just recycled consistently on market, off market. I mean, on market. You know what I'm saying? Like contract, not under contract.
Mortgage applications that are 30-year low. The realtors have been doing this for less than 15 years, have never been in a down market.
Right.
All they know, they go out and get a real estate license, and the state gives you the legal requirements and, to know the law. And then once they get their license, then they go hang that license with a broker.
Right.
The only thing the broker teaches them is get the listing, show up at closing, collect the check. That's it. They teach them nothing else. Now, in a downtrending market, you can't do that anymore. See, over the last 5 or 10 years, they've been able to get a listing, put it on the MLS, and within 6 hours, they've got 5 different offers, all above list.
Yeah.
They never had to make a single phone call. Now, the market is downturned, and now they have got to work. Except a lot of them aren't making that connection. I think Joe Bigger.
Yeah, I gotta jump. I gotta get this call. This guy is
hot on it. Go make money.
Hey, and then Adrian.
Yeah.
That video that Mike was referring to. I used to have it saved. I don't have it in my YouTube anymore. But it was Brent Daniels and Pace.
Yeah.
And they went over the 8 rules. I can't find it in my saved ones anymore. But if you go in there. And that was about this was a year ago when they made that video.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I came across it, I'm like, oh, I gotta add that.
Yeah. So I have it saved somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'll talk to you guys next week, okay? Mike, I'll get back with you later.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, talk soon. So anyway, Adrian, yeah, that's what's going on right now. And I don't remember if it was Joe or somebody else that was on the call last week that they called several realtors that they've been getting wholesale deals from, and they're like, oh no, I don't do real estate anymore. I've got a job.
Probably. And I'm noticing, I'm noticing a certain trend too. I am too.
When the market crashed in 2009, within 18 months later, 60% of realtors gave up their licenses because they couldn't make a living doing it.
I believe it.
That's what's going on now.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that in waves.
Everybody.
Okay.
And only the strong survive. And the strong ones are going to be people that are going to appreciate when an investor calls.
So do you think with these since that lawsuit just happened, and I know it's really going to affect the real estate market in general. I was hearing something today that it was going to affect the prices of homes, even though this is really just for realtors as far as their commissions, but it's really going to make a big change. I mean, I really don't know what to expect on that. I don't know should I even worry about this right now, or just kind of keep it business as is?
Business as usual. What, you don't care? You don't care if a realtor gets paid a commission, do you?
No, but I was watching something today, and they were talking about how it's going to affect the prices of home, and I'm just probably watching the wrong stuff. But yeah, I was just thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Okay.
business as usual until somebody tells you that you got to change.
Okay.
Why anticipate stuff that you can't control?
Yeah. And I'm just thinking about the downtrend as far as pricing, just
And
because
then
I'm
the
looking
other
at this one right now.
Are you a licensed realtor?
No.
Neither am I. Why would I care?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. Why would I care? And by the way, I think what'll end up happening is a lot of that will shake out there's kind of
Pretenders?
the
The pretenders?
in any business, it doesn't matter, any industry, 80% of the work transactions are done by 20% of the people.
Yeah, you're right.
So what that'll probably do is shake out the, 8 out of 10 people that shouldn't be doing this anyway.
Right. Okay.
And keep in
Okay.
mind, NAR is the biggest lobby group in America.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I used to be a broker. NAR, the National Association of Realtors, is the largest lobbying organization in America. So trust me, if they have a problem, they will be working on their politicians to get whatever hurdle fixed.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, who cares? Who cares about the real estate agents commission? I'm glad that they get paid. I mean, and the good agents are awesome. Like this deal that I'm working on today with this gentleman came from a realtor. She is not going to get paid a commission on this. I'm going to give her a marketing fee. I close this deal. Let's say I wholesale it for 15, 20 grand. I'm going to definitely write her a check for like $1,500.
Yeah, good.
Because she's great. Because she works with investors and she gets it. On the flip side, I was calling wholesaling a property that a student had sent from Indianapolis. I called the realtor and said, I understand, I saw that you represented a property, that was rehab. I have one, maybe you could send it to your rehabber list. Then she said, what's the address? I said, well, just give me your email and I can send you all the information. She goes, nope, and hung up the phone.
Right.
Two realtors, 2 different cities. One gets it, one clearly doesn't.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you think was the difference between the one that understood it and the one that was actually or the one that just hung up on you?
Kathleen is a hard worker. That's the one who gets it.
Okay.
What Kathleen does in her neighborhood where she lives, every single day for an hour, what she does is she prints up a market survey for that street that she's gonna canvass. She prints out a bunch of them and it just talks about how much the value of the homeowner's property is. She does it for every house on the street. It's a flyer, and obviously at the bottom it's got her contact information. And all she does, she parks at the end of the street. She knocks on the door. If somebody's home, she just introduces herself. I live in the neighborhood. I'm a realtor. I didn't know if you know what the value of your house is. Here you go. Hands them the piece of paper, and then she walks away.
Okay.
Goes door to door to door every single day. She spends an hour prospecting, canvassing, and that's how she does it. She provides value to the people, and she's from Maine. She transferred down. She moved down here like a year ago, and within 4 months, she was the #1 lister in the office.
Wow.
Now, that being said, the other realtor who, I said, hey, listen, I've got a rehab deal. Maybe you want to send it out to your rehabbers. And she wouldn't give me her email and then hung up the phone on me. She's probably one of those ones who gets a listing, shows up at closing, and collects a check. That's it.
Okay.
That's my guess. I know
Okay.
Kathleen, I didn't know this other one because she hung up the phone on me, but I hung up the phone. I'm like, whatever. Next.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even like I was pitching or anything. I'm like, here, I'll send you the deal. Send it out to your rehabbers. Send it out to your buyers. How hard is that?
Yeah.
That's literally get the listing, show up at closing, collect the check. She gets email from me, the flyer for me in this deal. She emails it off to her, rehabber list. Somebody says I want it. She represents them. How hard would that have been?
Yeah.
Her mental picture wasn't there. I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you just move on from like the realtor when they do that, or are you gonna follow back with the person?
Nope.
Okay.
Delete. And then you get into the next phone call. The next realtor is like, oh yeah, I've got a whole list of buyers. We're looking for stuff in that zip code. Send it to me right away. I'll get it out to my list right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, Adrian, you know this, sales is a numbers game. It's just about numbers.
That's all
When
That's all it is. Yep.
When it comes to buying coin-operated laundries, I had to make 150 phone calls to find 10 people that said, I'll talk to you to make an offer on 3 to buy 1.
Okay.
Same goes for apartment buildings, and same goes for anything. And
Yeah.
like we were talking earlier about when you're making an offer, go for no, Rose,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
100 lowball offers. On average, 2 or 3 will get accepted every month. But you've got to go through 97 no's to get to those 3.
Yeah. That's a lot.
But that's the business we're in.
Of course. And I completely, I'm saying that's hard because I know I can do it, but then because I like to prove myself that I'm wrong or that I'm right, that I can really do it. And that's why I guess I make calls just to prove it to myself.
Yeah. And if you've got my time box, that's I've got at the top of the line offers. You should be making a minimum of 5 offers every single day. Lowball off 5 lowball offers, or 5 sub-2 offers. Whatever the case may be. But that's how you keep yourself accountable, because if you're not making offers, they can't be accepted.
Yeah. And can I ask you, I think it's personal, but then again, I don't know if you feel comfortable answering that. How do you feel when you get the first check for the first deal that you do? How do you feel? Because I just want to have this, because I guess in my head, I can't comprehend that feeling.
You want to know how I feel? I keep this check on my desk.
And is that your first ever one?
Nope. That's the biggest one I ever did. $116,000.
$116,000?
I made me feel so good. I made a copy of it and I keep it on my desk.
I was gonna say, weren't you cashing it?
No, it's the real check I cashed. I made a copy of it.
Yeah, I got that.
$116,380 made out to me.
Wow.
Biggest wholesale deal I ever did.
What kind of deal was it? A land deal?
Apartment buildings.
So, can you specify? Wait, stop. Was it can you explain or develop the what it was?
I can absolutely tell you that the day that we closed, the smells were sweeter, the sounds were sweeter, colors were brighter. It was a great day. I am. I actually, my girlfriend at the time was at the closing, and I told her that on the way home. I'm like, something changed in me. I don't know what it was, but something changed. The world is just, the world is better.
Was it like
So,
okay,
but
so
what I would encourage, and by the way, I don't have my cell phone in front of me. This one, because it's the biggest one I ever did, I print it out and I keep it on my desk. But every time I wholesale a deal, I don't get wire transfers. I actually have the title company send me a physical check, because when I get the check, I take a picture of it. I keep pictures of my checks in my phone. So when I'm having a shitty day and I go look at those pictures, I'm like, yeah, you got to figure out ways to motivate yourself, and that's how I motivate myself. Is I just take pictures of my checks.
that's cool because that's like evidence that it works. And I guess for me in my brain, I need evidence that it works. Okay. In my head, I guess like I'm hearing it for everyone, but like in my head, I'm like, how does that like actually works?
Until you get a check with your name on it, you still have that doubt in the back of your head. I get it.
Really? Okay.
I get where you're at. You haven't done a deal yet. No matter how much evidence you have in front of you, until you get that check with your name on it, there's still that little voice in the back of your head going, I don't know if this is gonna work.
Yeah, that's it. That's where I'm at right now. I'm like, I don't comprehend that, how like you can get a check for selling a house if you're not a realtor, and like even if you wholesale it, I mean, like how, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what no one else will tell you. Trust me, it works.
I'm trusting you.
That's what I mean. Trust me, it works.
Yeah.
But again, it's a numbers game. And you want to, when I was talking about that coin operated laundry earlier that I'm working on mine, as crazy as this sounds, I went back and looked at my call logs. Of those 150 phone calls, he was number 4.
Number 4.
He was number 4. Now that being said, when I called him, he said they would consider selling, but it was a follow-up 3 months later when I called him when he said we're ready to sell.
But that's crazy.
But when you've got a list of 400 or 500 coin operated laundries, the potentially, could be potential sellers across the Southeast United States, and you make 150 phone calls, you don't know what number that seller is going to be. It could have been 4, it could have been 148. You just don't, and Adrian can attest to that being in sales. It's a numbers game, and you never know what number, what day, when that person goes say yes. But you got to go make 100 phone calls.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right?
It's mandatory. You're only going to get there if you get hit. You just got to continuously get at bat, so you can at least make some money or home runs or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The other thing too, and this is something that a lot of even wholesalers don't understand. Back in the day, getting a $1,000 to $5,000 check was the norm for wholesaling a house. In a hot market, you can jack that up to $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. But in this market, expect $1,000 to $5,000 checks to move deals.
Really?
Absolutely. That's the norm. But if you can do 3 wholesale deals at $5,000, that's $15,000.
Yeah, but it's getting from like point A to point B. Because like I guess because when I started with Carol, I wasn't back at work, and now I kind of had to go back working, so I get less time during the day. But then when I get to do it, I'm so excited just to like call and like talk to people, and like whenever I call and like someone tells me they're busy or like they don't want to talk to me at first, and then I get them to change their mind and they accept talking to me. I have like the biggest smile and I'm so happy, and then I have to go back to work, so I'm miserable.
And you and I have been started working together, what, a week ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, now I want to work harder to get one of these JV deals to go through so we can get you a check. You've got a check with your name on it, and you can say, look, it's actually.
I would love it if I would love it for now, but I guess I have to do it. But I told John. John is my husband, so I told John. I said, if I see physical proof that I can do it, and I get one check, then I'm gonna focus on this. Just because I'm telling you, I crave it. I crave it. Like, it was insane because this weekend I was talking to you, like I was talking to John about you, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if Mike were here, he would have told me, like, call someone or do something, or like, and I craved talking to someone so much so that, like, Saturday morning I was at cheer for my daughter, and like she was practicing, and I had to go and just make a phone call to one realtor, and just for her to say, like, oh, I'm busy, it's Saturday morning. And then, like, I got her talking to me, and I got so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, you're talking to me. And we spoke for half an hour when she said she didn't have time.
And the thing about it is by doing that, you separate yourself out from 90% of the other wholesalers out there.
Yeah. But then I have to work. Well, not Saturdays, but like yeah. But like
Anyway, just when I tell you, trust me, it'll work.
Well, I trust you, Mike. I trust you.
Adrian, thanks for coming on. I know we're going to talk tomorrow, but I'm glad I was able to have a quick chat with you.
Yeah, man. I'm glad I got back on. I need to get back on the ball, and I need to reach out. I haven't been reaching out to a lot of people, and I know a lot of people probably feel a little salty. Like I need to speak to Dennis because I'd like to work with him, especially since he's out here in Arizona. But I'm gonna be more frequent. Okay, I just need to get on the ball and really.
Even at
really
the end of the day, use it as an accountability group.
I agree. To be honest.
I was giving Joe a little bit of crap about his book, but for 3 weeks, after we came up with the idea of him actually putting out a book about how to do EMD funding, all right, you can pay just $3,000 or whatever, but he's actually going to put he's putting together a step by step book. But
it's a good idea.
After we
really
had the idea a month ago, I asked him every Monday night, and he had done nothing. And that's why first thing I asked him tonight, and he's like, I've got it done.
Okay.
Again,
yeah, that's good.
Use it as an accountability group.
Yeah, I need that.
We all do.
Yeah, because I fall off track.
We all do.
Yeah, this is the first time I've really worked for myself. Normally I work for, like I said, I work for other people.
Yeah.
And it's easy to fall off the wagon per se, but yeah, I just need to. I'm gonna get on it. I have to. So
anyway, we've been doing this for 2 hours. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shut it down. But another great call, and I'll talk to you tomorrow, Adrian.
Right on. Okay, I'll talk to you guys soon. Nice meeting you, Rose.
I guarantee I'll talk to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Mike. Have a good night.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye, Adrian.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.